I'm ready when you are, buddy.
And then we are recording, so.
It is after the final pour. My name is Tony Golick, and I'm joined with always
Brandon Winninger.
And in after the final pour fashion, especially for the beginning of the year, Brandon and I have decided to do back-to-back episodes. We're recording these back-to-back, and we're sticking with the theme of Belgian beers. We both realize that we have another Belgian beer we can drink. And Brandon, why don't you tell the kids what we got in front of us this evening?
We are drinking a fantastic offering from Off Color Brewing. It is their barrel-aged Growl. It is a...
Is that your growl? It sounded like a
growl.
It sounded like a deep burp. There you go.
It is a quadruple ale aged in rye whiskey barrels. 10% alcohol by volume. Gravity is 20. Ooh, 20p. I don't know what that means.
Plato. Oh, it's another form of gravity. Another way to determine. It's like Fahrenheit and Celsius.
I only like 20 Aristophanes or whatever. Screw Plato. IBUs is 28. But I do like that they have it's got the malts listed out here, the hops.
Yes.
And their secret ingredients.
I love that about Off Color. If you want to read those, sorry, I don't want to cut you off, but I love that about Off Color for all their beers. They do list what is in the beers we are consuming.
So the malts is Pils, Dark Munich.
And the malts is Pils?
And Dark Crystal. Their hops is some nuggets. They got some nuggets in there. And then the secret ingredient is dark candied syrup.
And love.
Ooh.
So I'd like to point something out. Oh, sorry.
And then, second use Willet barrels and second year rye barrels.
Ooh, Willet barrels. Nice. They don't say what the rye barrels are, right? They just say rye barrels.
It does not. Yeah.
So something I want to point out, when we did the other after the final pour with your Belgian triple, which is fantastic, we noted that when we did our original Pedestrian triple, we used Nugget for the main hop. So that's kind of cool to see that that's the use for the quad. Brandon,
that's all they used though. So
yeah. So I threw Crystal at the end. That's just going to give a little bit more of a aroma and almost like kind of like steeping hop, a little bit of flavor, but the bitterness is coming from the Nugget. So I've already had this before. Brandon, by the way, thank you very much. This was, when I say these, because I have many, this was one of the birthday gifts you gave me for my birthday from Off Color. It was a very jolly Off Color birthday. Thank you very much.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, man. Yes. No, it's all right. It's fine. When this comes out, who knows?
Could be next year on your birthday.
Yeah, I could say this is season 4, episode 5, but it could be season 5, episode 4. Mind blown. You gave me two of these. You gave me 2 Dino S'mores barrel aged, and you gave me 2 beer for pizza, just straight up regular beer for pizza. If you listen to the Maltese, Clark did mention in his little segment how much he wanted to try new breweries, not new breweries, but breweries he hasn't really drank a lot from, and Off Color was one of them. And that kind of sparked it in me as well, and Brandon as well, because we started, not that we didn't like Off Color. I mean, Apex Predator is one of the beers that stand out in my mind because it's a good farmhouse beer. Dino S'mores is one that Brandon, actually the year before, you gave me Dino S'mores coffee, the coffee Dino S'mores. I shared the last one with you. That those are the beers that kind of stand out, but they have so many other beers that we just didn't really drink. And I feel like each year there's like a brewery we kind of talk about a lot. And so far it's been Off Color. Our very first year was Goose Island, as you all know, we like them. But these offerings have been great. We've tried a handful of beers. Brandon, did you end up trying beer for tacos yet?
Not yet. I still have it.
Okay, good.
My intention was to. I think sometime soon we're going to be ordering
Making
tacos. So I literally want to have it with tacos. So like the beer for pizza, I had that with pizza.
That's what I'm doing this weekend.
I have the beer for burgers, and I'm waiting to either make burgers or order burgers, and I'm going to have that with that. So
yeah, I saved my last beer for burgers for a burger, and I have 2 of the beer for pizzas left. I have a cherry and a regular, so I'm looking forward to drinking both of those this weekend when I make some homemade pizza. But that's not why we're doing this. It's just kind of reflecting on our love of Off Color right now, which everybody in Chicago already loves Off Color. We love Off Color. We just haven't really dug deep into their catalog of beers, and this one is, to me, is very nice in a way that I didn't think I would like it, because when I first had it a few nights ago, number one, these bottles, what size bottles are these? 350 milliliter?
275. No, 250. 250.
Okay, it's 250. So they're nice small bottles. They came, like, the packaging's cool. I really like the labels. If you guys, I don't know if we're doing a video of this, but I'm trying to peel the label off. I want to see if I can have this as a sticker on my beer fridge. The little bottles are great because it fills up this snifter. Again, if we're doing video, you guys can see it. This is not a big snifter. It's probably a standard size snifter. I don't know what a standard size fucking snifter is, but it's not a big snifter.
They're about 10 ounces, I think.
Okay. So this, it's a perfect pour. It's not something where you feel like you have too much. It's not something you have to share. And for the price point, Brandon, when you bought all of this, you bought 3 4-packs, 2 of them barreled aged, and it was like $58 or some shit like that. Like,
yeah.
Yep. And all those beers are very good. I already have my impressions of this. Brandon, what do you think about this beer?
I think it's awesome. I can't. So here's the thing: is I'm getting the rye.
Mm-hmm.
That's coming through to me. What I really enjoy is the aroma.
Yeah,
because I'm getting, to me, it's like a hint of, it's like a dark fruit, like none of like raisin maybe, but something deeper than that. And then I'm still getting that caramelized, like this dark, not burnt sugar, but like a caramelized sugar. And chocolate. I'm getting a little bit of chocolate, I feel like. Not a lot.
Taste or aroma?
Aroma
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, as I'm swirling it. Oh, sorry. As I'm swirling it around, and again, if anyone's watching this video, it looks like I'm just shaking profusely, but I'm holding it back up so you can see that the head is forming a little bit better. Yeah, the dark fruit is what I got from it the first time, and it's very raisiny to me, which is what I expect from quads. And when you said, right before you said dark chocolate or chocolate, I went back in and smelled it, and it's like this bittersweet dark chocolate, or not bittersweet, but like a dark chocolate or a bittersweet chocolate, where it's not like super sweet or super cocoa-y. It's very nice. It's almost it's like chocolate candy. You know what I mean? Like,
it smells like if you were melting chocolate at home, the aroma that you would get, like if you were standing away from it, like just that kind of waft of like, melting chocolate. Like, yeah.
The barrel is there without it being too much. It's like, it's not like a barrel-aged stout or any other barrel-aged quad I've had. It's a nice, almost a aftertaste in my mouth is what the barrel is. It's not like, this was definitely like the first sip you take, you're like, oh, this is a barrel-aged beer. The first sip that I took, for the first time I had it, and tonight, is sweet raisin candy, Belgian-y, then a little bit of barrel. And at first I did not like that about it, but having this a second time, I'm kind of jealous that you have one more bottle and this is my last bottle of it. I always think about that when I open up bottles that people have that I'm drinking first. No, it's awesome. It's awesome. It's just a very nice beer, and for 10%, I don't think I could give this to my wife and she'd be like, "Oh yeah, this is an easy drinker or whatever." For the everyday craft beer drinker, I think people would appreciate it, but also be kind of taken aback to be like, "Oh shit, this is 10%." Like it's going down real nice. Like I let the last one that I did warm up a little bit, which did get a little bit more. It didn't change a whole lot, so that's why I wasn't too concerned about opening it up as cold as it is right now. But yeah, it's solid. I know you said rye. I don't get a whole lot of rye, but then as we know when we do the show, my palate sucks in comparison to Clark and Brandon.
Yeah, and I think, and again, I mean, it's very subtle, and the comparison between like a Willet barrel or a rye barrel is like, what it's very. I think flavor wise, when it's blended with a beer, is very minimal. But what I'm curious about is that it doesn't distinguish on the bottle is. So it's a second use Willet barrel. So I'm wondering if it's a second use Willet 2-year rye barrel. So Willet rye.
Let me take a look.
Maybe I'm just reading it wrong. So maybe that's.
I mean, this is an actual after the final pour where we had something. Dark candy syrup, second use Willet 2-year rye barrel. Yes.
There's no comma after the second use Willet.
So that's why it's not incredibly strong, and I think that lends itself to being on that lighter side. Oh, look, I'm changing the lights, everybody. If you're watching the video, this is cool and terrifying. I think that's a cool idea that it's a second use for a rye barrel, because the fact you're able to pick up a little bit of the rye, I'm not, and I don't feel like the rye is, or that the barrel is incredibly strong and like in your face. It's kind of nice, and I think it lends itself to let the beer itself, kind of speak for itself. If I can say itself any more times in one sentence, I think that in itself it would be a miracle.
I think you explained yourself.
I explained itself too. Someone just liked one of my barrel check-ins, barrel-aged check-ins, and my phone just lit up and said, and someone like, "Oh, someone enjoyed this barrel-aged beer." I don't know what it is.
How dare they?
Yeah. As far as what we've had from Off Color just in these couple of months, we're losers for not drinking them more often.
Yeah.
I really hope we use video, because you know what? I'm not going to spoil it for anybody who's just listening. That was great. Video's got to stay in. We're doing the video. I'm going to vape even while we're doing this one.
Oh, now my ear itches. Anyway, so I don't feel like we've done Off Color enough justice. Especially in past episodes. I mean, we haven't touched on their styles, especially when we've done like some variations of beers, and like if we talked about styles, we haven't really incorporated Off Color as much. And when Off Color first started, I feel like I read this article where John was targeting like beers that were, I don't want to use the word off color, but off the radar of what normal people would drink.
They have never done an IPA.
Yeah, and
they're very proud of that. No, not at all. They have never done an IPA, and they're very proud of that. And just like I feel like they're a special brewery in the sense of like Dovetail, who does just German style beers. We don't have enough breweries that focus on that, and a brewery like Off Color and a brewery like Dovetail who focus on legit. And even who is it? Oh, geez, I'm blanking on it right now. Metropolitan. Do they have a pale ale? Even do they have an IPA, or they do just lager stuff? Not lager, yeah, not lager.
I think they're mostly just lagers.
Yeah, and German styles as well. So like having those three breweries just in general in our vicinity of Chicago, it's kind of nice to have that, especially in a world that we're just being pummeled by, styles that we like: pastry stouts, barrel aged stouts, hazy IPAs, juicy IPAs. And that's not to take away from breweries like Hop Butcher or Maplewood or who else does big beers like that.
I mean,
Hubbard's Cave. Cave is
Hubbard's
like,
Cave,
like very extreme. Yeah, like a microphone. Perfect example right there. Maplewood, they actually have a really good selection of different styles. So I don't mean to throw them in there, but when I think about like Juice Pants is one of my favorite on the on the podcast that Kevin and I did, the Teen Line. We did a short run of 8 episodes. Was that the episode you were on? Nope, that was the episode Shalonda was on. ABC was on. We did the beer episode with her where we were talking about IPAs, and I chose Juice Pants as one of my favorite IPAs. So those like big, juicy, IPAs, it's always nice to come back to those breweries that are focused on certain styles or not doing what's popular, so to speak. While Dino S'mores has become popular, and I know Growl itself is a popular quad, the barrel aged version of it, I'm trying to pour more out of the bottle and there's nothing left.
Give me more.
The barrel aged Growl is just super solid. So I feel very lucky that we live in a city where we can have breweries like Dovetail and Off Color and then the microphones and Hubbard's Caves where they do stuff like that. They're big sweet imperial stouts and pastry stouts or whatever.
Yeah,
that whole ramble I just did is the encompassing of after the final pour. What was the point I was getting to? Off Color, you're doing it right.
Well, and it kind of digs into another point too. So we need to make sure
I don't ever want to listen to what I just said again.
When specifically when we did like the Oktoberfest style beers, like we didn't even touch Dovetail. And I'm sure they have something that is right up that alley.
Honestly, that's a brewery I'm looking forward to, whether we have a chance to speak with them or we just do an episode on our own, drinking their beers. The few times I've been to Dovetail and some of the festivals that I've worked where I've poured Dovetail beers, no matter how excited I am about the other beers that are on tap, at the end of the day, when I'm done working those festivals where I'm serving and drinking beer a good amount of the day, that's how I like to end the day, is with their beers. Like I know their Hell's Lager is phenomenal. Their Dunkelweiss is delicious.
It's hella's good.
Yeah, it is hella's good. And the brewery is fun to go to. They have awesome charcuterie plate. Oh, there goes the mic. Plates. Their pretzels are good, and it's just a fun place to go to. It's right by Beguile as well. So
it is.
Dovetail.
So I do have a connection with Dovetail. So
there it comes. Brandon's got a connection to everybody in Chicago, baby.
I will reach out and see what we can do. Well, and it begs the question: do we want to do an episode earlier, or do we want to wait till the fall and kind of schedule that, like when German beers are prominent?
I have no idea.
We drink more beer.
Just do a two-parter. We'll just do a two-parter where we just talk about their beers and then the regular beers, and then we do the Oktoberfest style. I don't know. I don't know if Dovetail has an Oktoberfest. This is why I wish fucking Clark was around all the time. Clark?
Yep.
Ugh, now I gotta look it up myself.
That guy sucks.
Seriously. The worst third host we could have ever had added to the show other than I don't know. I'm checking it out. Dovetail. I put Oktoberfest. I mean, they have an Oktoberfest anniversary. They do have a fest beer.
Oh,
So we could do that. We could see if we can work something out there. I don't care when we talk to them. I just love their beers. It's very good.
yes.
It was good stuff. But again, that's not what this episode's about. It's about this barrel aged quad from Color. Yeah. Overall,
Well, so have you had the regular Growl?
I've had it once before. It's a great quad. It's a great quad.
Yeah. So I never had it. I don't know like what to compare.
Actually,
but
as I'm saying that, I need to check my Untapped to see if I actually have had that. I feel like I have had it before. It could be a lot.
So, but this also goes back to our previous after the final pour when we were talking about wanting to brew a quad. This, looking at the grain bill on here, I'm like, oh, this is a good start.
Mm-hmm. It's a good way to
try to.
No, I agree.
We want to try to mock that a little bit.
See, it's funny because I was looking through Untapped. I've not checked it in, but the first thing I saw was that someone checked in the barrel aged Growl, and I'm like, oh, maybe I'm wrong. But I do see a regular Growl, and a lot of people have checked that in.
Yep.
Over time. February 20th. Man, day before my birthday, somebody checked it in. But there's also a lot of the barrel aged one, so people are just checking it. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure I have had the regular Growl. And if not, well, shit, I'm a liar. Sorry, everybody.
It happens.
To let you guys down. But if you're in Chicago or you have somebody who lives in Chicago that can get you this, I believe they still have some left, and I wouldn't mind getting my hands on more of it. Brandon, you're in for a treat. Okay, fine, we'll get some more. Brandon, you're for a treat when you have the Dino S'mores. The barrel aged Dino S'mores.
Yeah, I mean, Dino S'mores in itself is great, so I'm definitely
coffee Dino S'mores, regular Dino S'mores. There are some liquor stores near me that still just has Dino S'mores sitting on the shelf. So
I can't wait for the days when we can finally dig into all of this crap I have in my cellar.
Yeah, which is funny because out of all of the deep wood beers, from Rev, out of the 11 that were released, I still have 8 left.
I have a lot of them too.
Yeah, so shit. Even if it's not for the show, I'm looking forward to hanging out and we can just drink those.
Yeah,
hang out and enjoy some awesome barrel aged beers.
So I was looking at this
vape again.
This list that I have curated of all the beers, 141 total beers in my cellar. 99 of them unique. So
I was like, wait, what are you talking about? 141. You're talking about your Untapped? No, now I understand it's your cellar.
Yeah. So I'm like, man, there's a lot of shit in here we got to drink.
Bummer. Sucks that we have to do that as a team.
Yes.
Is it true that you don't have a blended Bourbon County from 2020? Like the regular, just the full blended one?
I'm looking at my list right now.
Great. For those who don't know, Bourbon County, Gooseon's Bourbon County this year was in Chicago. There were 3 different barrels that they blended it from, and then they released 3 different variants of the regular blend. So there's Buffalo Trace, Heaven Hill, and Wild Turkey, and then the one that went out to other states and in Chicago, or Illinois, I should say, was the blended. And you can tell that by the letters on your bottle, as far as like their little stamp code on the back. Yeah. And the blended has no letters: Buffalo Trace, BT, Heaven Hills, HH, Wild Turkey, WT. I was very privy to try all of them. And I will say this: the blend is the best, in my opinion.
I don't have the blend. Apparently, I have
one.
Several of the Heaven Hill and a Buffalo Trace.
Excellent. The Wild Turkey was one of the hardest ones to find. It was a little hot as far as all the other ones were concerned. It's still Bourbon County, and it's very good. But overall, the blend was my favorite because, I mean, that's what Goose Island does. It was nice to try the other single barrel versions of Bourbon County, but the blend was awesome.
Noted.
You and I have finished our drinks. I have rambled a bunch. We went off topic a bunch. For an off-color episode, we talked a lot about Dovetail at one point. Kind of cool. But kudos to Off Color. Thank you very much for making Barrel Aged Growl and for enlightening our Belgian beer evening. Very good. Brandon, thanks, man, for grabbing these for us.
Oh, no problem. Yeah, this surprised me. I liked it a lot more than I thought I would. When I originally saw it, I was like, I don't know if that's going to work. Or if, and more like, I don't know if I'm going to like it. But I enjoyed it very much. Very good. Very good.
Yeah, it's great. It's fruity, dark fruit, raisin, plum, prune. Second use barrels, cool idea, because a lot of breweries will sell used barrels. And any homebrewers out there, if you want to know what a second use barrel tastes like, this is it. And I gotta be honest, next time a brewery is willing to sell a second use barrel, I'm even more apt to scoop it up, especially a 55-gallon barrel for $50. That just means we have to brew a lot of beer again. Now
somebody's selling a 55-gallon barrel.
Some breweries will do that here and there. I know Rev does it. I know Lake Effect does it every now and then. Depending on how wet those barrels are, and if we know what's going to happen, and we've got an Imperial Stout to go in it, this would be kind of fun to maybe throw the Into the Void one day.
It would be a nice void for it to go into.
Or if we can find some 5-gallon whiskey barrels or bourbon barrels from somebody, that would be cool too. Brandon, have you done anything with that? Have you done anything with that barrel that we used?
I'm waiting till the spring, and then I'm actually going to seal it, and it's going to become like an outside table. It'll be preserved forever.
What if we got that barrel wet one more time with some bourbon and whiskey and did a beer in it, and then you sealed it the following year?
Is that possible? Like, can you do that after it's been sitting? I have to look that up.
I think so. Well, we'll find out.
Yeah. It's like, let's clean it first and then talk about this.
Like your style. All right. This has been After the Final Pour, and we'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.
This has been The Malting Hour. Be sure to follow us on all social media by searching The Malting Hour and at themaltinghour.com. You can also follow us on social media platforms individually. Brandon can be found on Instagram as BMDub81, on Twitter, BDub81, on Untapped, BDub Drinks Beer. Tony can be found on Instagram and Untapped under Asa Phelps Chicago. On Twitter, The Asa Phelps Chicago. Clark can be found as Clarkowski on all three. Be sure to subscribe, like, and rate the show on your preferred podcast listening platform. Until next time, cheers from all of us at The Malting Hour.